Addy Soldiers. I had someone the other day ask me how I got into modeling and into theater and into acting, and I decided that's a good idea for a YouTube video. I should make something like that. Because I really do believe that joining a theater company in high school was probably one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life, and it really helped me in multiple ways. And theater was a big part of my high school experiences. Because I'm coming to the second year of university, let me reminisce and explain to everybody where my theater roots come from. Don't judge, because I don't judge, because I'm a theater kid. Okay, so going way back to when wee Rachel was just knee-high to a duck. I was always a very shy kid. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was never the first one to run in when the piñata broke. I was always the one on the outside. I didn't like talking to people. I was a really, really shy kid. I was a part of a few small little class plays in elementary school, and I always thought it was really fun being on stage and getting to act for like the kindergartners and stuff. That was always pretty fun. But I never really went into anything. I never did any like community acting classes or never signed up for anything because I was always too shy. When I got into high school, considering grade 8, we did a drama unit in one of our electives classes. And that was so much fun, and I loved that. And I loved being in the theater, and I loved doing improv games, even though I wasn't good at them. And at the end of the year, my theater teacher, who was my drama teacher, two different things, theater and drama are two different things, said that I should join theater company because I had promised or whatever jazz. And at the time, I was kind of like, I don't want to do, I'm too shy. In grade 9, I took drama again, and I loved that even more. But I was so withdrawn and into myself that during like games and warm-up stuff, I would make other people go on stage with my ideas. So I'd like whisper my idea in their ear and be like, go and do it. And then they'd go and do it because I was too shy to get on stage. And again, my theater teacher said, you should join theater, as you know, it's at lunch and it's after school and we do plays. And of course, me being a self-entitled, grumpy 14-year-old was like, I don't want to stay after school. What the hell? I just want to get out of this hellhole. It wasn't until grade 10 that I really kind of hungered down and decided that I wanted to join theater, because that was a year that I took Japanese as my language, and my theater teacher was also the Japanese teacher. So during class, a lot of the upperclassmen theater kids would come in and help her with stuff, or the closer it got to a play, they'd come in more and they'd give her scripts. Every time that there was a play during school hours, our block would have to go. And it just started looking a lot more fun, and I was thinking, you know, maybe I'm missing out on something. So in grade 11, I finally did it, and I finally friggin' joined theater. As soon as I joined it, I was like, why the hell did I not do this sooner? Here are a bunch of kids of all ages that are crazy and weird and really smart and like all the same things I do and have an affinity for hipster music and rolling around on stage. Like, why are these people not my friends already? The acceptance level in my theater was just astronomical because I could do and say anything I wanted, and there would always be this acceptance and kind of a high five and a laugh, when before I was always given that look that means, you know, maybe you're not entirely right. And over the course of maybe even just the first month, they really became my family. We would have practice at lunch and after school a couple days a week, but regardless of what day it was, we would always just hang out in the theater at lunch anyway, blast music over the speakers, and we would roll around on stage, literally. So it wasn't just the acceptance level that made it so exciting. Of course, it was the performing, because that's what you join theater for. And putting on shows is so much fun. You really have to appreciate the time and effort that goes into the play, regardless if you found it interesting or not. Show days would be so chaotic. We would usually do 4 matinees, 1 in the morning block, 1 in the afternoon block of both Wednesday and Thursday. And then we do a Friday night show that was like the main event show. And once you see each other, like everybody's half naked in the back room changing, like you bond pretty quick. And before shows, you put on theater makeup, and we had all of the kits. But it was really funny because me and some of the other girls who had more experience with makeup would have to mix all of the colors for everybody. They'd be like, Rachel, come do my makeup, or like, Jessica, come help me with my colors. So we'd have to like mix them all and put them on. That was pretty funny. And all of the girls would have to help the guys put on eyeliner. And yes, if you're a guy, you still have to wear eyeliner and mascara, because from not on stage, you look like you're a ghost. You look like you have no eyes and no face and no color, so you have to glop on orange makeup and bright red blush and like a giant winged liner just to look somewhat normal. We always would joke that we looked like $2 prostitutes because of the amount of makeup that was just caked on our face. Before each show, we would all stand in the center of the stage and we do warm-up games like vocals and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna share any because those are theater secrets, but I am gonna show you the name of some of them. So we had Brown Scroll, it was really fun. We had the watermelon song, which was fun. My theater class in particular invented this weird like llama song that was just hilarious. I think everyone would always start off with Baby Shark. That was a fun one. I know a lot of people know that. Baby Shark doo doo. Hey, don't judge. Being on stage, I love it more than I love film acting. And I know my agent has tried to get me to go into film, and I might do that one day, but I really do prefer stage, because it's more dramatic and you get to make bigger facial expressions and use your body more. You know, the lights come up and then everyone's there staring at you. But after the first couple lines, you kind of get into it and then the nervousness goes away and then you get into the flow of things and it's all good after that. It's also really fun when the audience is a good audience, because we've had times where they just deadpan, no laughs, no gasps of surprise or horror, just nothing. And that's kind of disappointing because you're on stage and you're saying stuff that you know should merit a reaction and just no one cares, and that's kind of disappointing. But we've also had some fantastic audiences that were just really into it, and I'll get to one specific case in a couple minutes. My two theater teachers, shout out to Mr. Kelly and Miss Thibault, who are both pretty great and awesome. They would cycle everybody through all of the different roles in a performance. So what is that? Head tech, tech assistants, you'd have set designers, you'd have makeup people, you'd have, what else? Props, actors, directors, stage managers. So everyone kind of cycled through so that we could all test the waters on every job. My first play I was ever a part of, I was the director. And oh man, the play that I first directed was called New Canadian Kid. It's a fantastic play. It's really funny and it's pretty short, and it's about a kid who moves to Canada from homeland. And my actors for that were fantastic. They were so funny. They were always in a good mood. They said all their lines. They came up with hilarious improv skits. It was a great show. I remember sitting there and watching them and just feeling so proud of them for being able to memorize all that stuff and to do the funny little isms that they had come up with, and had the way the audience laughed with them. It was a moment. I had a moment. So in the weeks leading up to the show, of course you just do practices and you head after school and stuff like that, but the week before shows we would have a Saturday rehearsal. So everybody would get to the school at 9 a.m. or something, and we would practice all day, run the play start to finish with lights and props and everything. No one wears makeup, we all come in sweatpants, we're all like holding thermoses of tea because we're all super tired. Sometimes the class would have a party the night before and come to the Saturday rehearsal hungover. And then the following week we'd have the 2 shows on Wednesday, we'd have the 2 shows on Thursday, and then we would have the show on Friday evening. And the Friday evening show was the best one. We would go after school and we would set the whole thing up, set the setup, and then we would have a couple hours to do whatever you wanted, but the call time was at 6 p.m. So a lot of us would stay in the theater and we would just hang out, and that was really fun because, sorry Thibault and Mr. Kelly, we kind of played on the set even though we're not supposed to. And we would play music over the speakers even though they were lined up for the show, and we would mess with the props, and we just dance around and act like lunatics. And then at around 5 we would run outside to the Tim Hortons that was across the street, and we go get sandwiches and soup and Starbucks and stuff, and then come back, and it was really nice and fun, and just the letting the tension out before the giant end finale show. And speaking of the finale show, something theater kids are infamous for is pranking, and every single time we would prank the end show. There was one play, it was a murder mystery, and at the end they had to open up this box, and in the box was supposed to be something that, said it was the murderer. And there wasn't anything in the box, but in the last performance, they filled the box with condoms. Another time, one that I was head tech on, there was 2 girls that were supposed to be drinking whiskey. So originally they just put water in the bottle, but for the last show, the director decided to prank and so mixed up a concoction that the girls had to drink on stage. Mixed powdered coffee, Pop Rocks, Sprite, and Crystal Light. And the best prank was actually something that went wrong, and this is where the best audience thing comes into play. It was my last show as a senior, and it was a murder mystery called Silver Dagger, and it's quite a good play actually. I quite enjoyed it. So in the play, my husband was this big writer, and he's having an affair with this other girl, and then her sister came to wonder about her murder, and he had actually murdered her, and it was this whoa big thing. Spoiler alert! During the play, he was caught on tape saying that he murdered her. So, of course, he wants to get the tape so that he can destroy it, and the other girl wants it so that she can use it for evidence. At one point, there's a scene where the main guy and me and then the girl's sister are all together, and she's supposed to take out the tape and put it on the table because he's threatening her with a gun. So I'm standing next to her, and she's digging around in her purse, and she couldn't put the purse down because in the purse is a gun that she's supposed to pull out and threaten and be like, haha, I knew all along, pow, I shoot you. And she's like, here, you want the tape? Oh, get it. And she's looking at it, it's like silent, and just her rummaging around. She's like, I'll give it to you, and she's still looking, and we're like, uh-oh. He says like, oh, put the bag on the chair, but she can't because she has the gun inside. So she's still going, she's like, I'll give you the tape, and by now the audience is caught on that something wrong is happening. So they're all just like whispering and kind of giggling, and we're like, oh no. And she's like, I swear it's in here, and by that point, me and the other guy are just trying so hard not to laugh. And he has a gun, so he's like, and I'm there like, and what had happened is that it had fallen into this hidden pocket that she didn't know was in her bag. So eventually she found it, but by that time the whole audience was laughing hysterically because we're trying to keep straight face and keep in character, and she was so mortified. I felt so bad for her, but it was funny as hell. We got to the end of the show and we're like, oh, that's kind of weird, like no one pranked, and then that happens. So it turns out that the theater gods are pranking us anyway. I was in grade 11 in theater. There was an opportunity for me to go to a 3-day like theater camp retreat thing that only seniors got to do. So the whole thing was that there was a group of kids, there was like 7 from each school or so, that got to go on this trip, and it was a 3-day in the mountains theater camp retreat. And at that time, it was only like a month into theater, so I wasn't super close with anybody yet. And that was a great bonding experience because we went to another school and we met up with another school, and then we took buses all the way up there, and then we met more kids from other schools. Here you are in the middle of the mountains with 300 other weird, strange, indie music loving theater kids who are just all there to have a good time and not judge and have fun. It was just, oh man, it was fantastic. But of course, it's not all happy, happy, joy, joy. There were definitely some bad times too. My drama class and my theater class were definitely very full of drama. There was a couple screaming fights and a lot of whispers and a bit of gossip. And there was some rumors about people sleeping with each other and they're coming blackout drunk to rehearsals. So, you know, I live in Surrey, what do you expect? Finally, getting to the main point of this video, what I want to say is that theater changed my life for the better because it really helped me get out of my bubble. That came at a time where I really needed to push myself, and I needed to get out of my bubble, and I needed to meet different people than the people that I had been with for so long. And in joining theater, I got a new family. I got the best support group that I could ever imagine, and I am eternally grateful for everybody who is in and ever will be in theater who isn't a jerk. That's also something because I've heard from other friends that are like, oh, your theater class sounds so awesome, my theater kids are jerks, and I'm like, well, they're not good theater kids. I hope something in this video has inspired you to go and join a theater company, even if you're kind of hesitant or you're not sure if you want to. Go and do it. I swear it'll be good for you, and you're gonna have a whole bunch of new friends and be able to be on stage and drama yourself to fabulous. Click here to like the video and click here to subscribe. If you aren't a theater kid, why are you not a theater kid? You should try it. I'm gonna be going on vacation after my exams, which are this weekend, so you're not gonna see me for a couple weeks, but I promise to post some blooper footage up. You guys will have 2 videos, and then I'll kind of make up for last week when I didn't post anything, so I was tired and I was studying, and I have to go study right now. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and I'll see you next week. And in the true spirit of a theater kid, goodbye my friends, I am gone.